There are certain shows where you fail to understand why they're just given one season like the show in 99. And certain shows like Altered Carbon are so good. We understand why they got cancelled after just one or two seasons. The show I will be talking about today called Tokyo Vice is one such show where I feel it is not hard to understand why I got cancelled after two seasons. And that's something we will kick our teeth into today. Season 1, if we talk about that first, was something that brought you huge interest, where the main character Jake Alston was always on the run for the case where he smoked meth with a source. He was together with his detective Katagiri and police raids beaten up by the man of the rulers gangster called Zasava. As a reporter, he was trying to find his place, but as he was American, he was met with a lot of opposition and prejudice towards him as a foreigner coming into a new country. I think that also showcased the Japanese hostility against foreign workers that tried to take the job of the local Japanese people. Jake is in this season involved in a hefty thriller drama story in a world of crime, yakuza, difficult friendships, and his willingness to go the extra mile to get the story and laying pressure on his sources in order to get the full truth. The actor Ansel Elgort is also responsible for making us feel alive in the story with all the tension and excitement that's being brought up. Sadly, in the second season, we are presented with the first reason why the show got cancelled, at least in my view. We come to what is known as the Samantha problem. This character, played by Rachel Keller, is also one character that was somewhat central during the first season, but in this season we might as well rename the show to Girl Boss in Tokyo, because it is all about her and all the important stuff. It's something the writers have found a way to place her in the heart, so she is the one that finds Misaki. It is her club where we see the one central yakuza Ayabun called the Seal loses laughing. 80% of the season is actually about her starting her new club and how she manages herself as a businesswoman at the mercy of the yakuza. She was also a central character during the first season, yes, but this season she is in a complete hiatus as the worst character in the show. So why is that a problem? While Rachel Carroll, as an actress, may be able to play this particular character in a good way, Samantha is just a pretty entitled Western woman that thinks she knows everything. She is a hothead that does decisions without thinking. She never asks for help. She is constantly angry and never sees a smile almost even once, apart from when she is working as a battle girl. Basically, she is a 100% girl boss, a strong independent woman, whatever you may call it. She is the most generic tough strong woman character that ever has existed. Interestingly enough, she is made to look tougher than both Tosawa, Katagiri, Oyabun, Jake, and Sato, which later becomes her boyfriend. This does indeed create a toxic balance, but she is actually never put in any danger because she is so tough and fearless instead of these Yakuza characters that are supposed to be fearless, but are made to look like little mice as opposed to her. She can talk rough to anybody she wants without any consequences. Actually, then, when she loses all her money right at the end of the first season as she desperately tries to find her friend Paulina and get her back, not really knowing where she has gone. It is actually a delight that she loses all her money because she is so annoying and a character that you never are rooting for. The way she takes off all the important screen time in the second season is something that ruins the dynamic between Katagiri and Jake, and in a way, you wish you never have had her own club, because then that story becomes so extremely central. The last two episodes are probably better as they try to take on Tosawa together, but here she is also strongly involved, and that's why the second season can never be saved. Actually, the ending is not that cool either. It just ends up with all the bosses going against Tosawa, and when he recognizes that he does not even have support from his own wife, he decides to commit seppuku. One other reason why the show got cancelled after the second season is in principle because they ran out of material. The whole show had been based on some memoirs written by Jake Alstein. There was, of course, always a sort of concern about how accurate these stories really were, but anyways, they ran out of material to write about. That's why it ends quite abruptly when it suggests that they can't continue. As it seems both Katagiri and Jake at the end of the story are now ready to settle down and do nothing, after having this feelers and acting laugh when they both were endangered by the Yakuza. The second season also lacks tension both in the story and in between the characters. The season actually becomes very boring as a whole because the writers have done these very boring decisions and have to run the story. Jake comes home one day to reconnect with his family is perfectly alright. What is not alright is how the shootout in club only lasts about 3 minutes, how Tosawa does not know about Jake and Misaki until the last episode, how Tosawa just ends his life with seppuku. Those storylines is something that could have made so much more intense. which was not the case in the first season, where Jake lost his ability to work with the police because they thought they gave him bad information. How he was constantly reprimanded by his boss for pressurizing his sources to the limit, as one of them committed suicide when he was in the investigation of the loan company. In that season, he also had a way more interesting relation with Sato that began to cause friction at the end of the first season, and a quarrel dynamics between him, Samantha, and Sato. But of course, once again, Jake had to say sorry, not Samantha, because she is painted to be this beautiful saint that cannot do anything wrong. Of course, also, nobody would have cried if Samantha was written out of the story for a more natural female character like Paulina, that actually acts like a more down-to-earth woman, and is more than a fan of sad. Anyways, through the decisions they made, Season 2 was a drag to get through, and also the sole decision to cut Ishida Oyabun so early that created this power vacuum, which Osawa hoped to take full control, was not a good move, as Ishida actually was a much cooler character. Naturally, even though Hayama, this crazy guy that was released from prison and took the leader and became this leader that was very threatening character that was even made to look more fearless than Samantha actually as the only character. He was never a right fit for Abun and Radley was killed by Sato as he had no honor. Then in some ways it was a strange move that he was chosen as a leader in the first place, as that torch should have been passed to Sato that even was banished from a clan. Interestingly enough, he manages to reclaim power, which at least is a finally recess in this girl boss infected season. After telling you all this, I've come to the conclusion that this show was cancelled largely because of the Samantha character, which hijacked the whole season, when the story should be more about Jake Elstein, and also, of course, because they ran out of material. It might also be interesting to know that for me, the first season is 7 out of 10, and the second one is down to a 5 out of 10, because of the failed direction that the writers took the show into during the second season.